These are financial tips for creators from someone who graduated with an accounting degree. I have my notes here, so let's get started. This is mainly going to revolve around the tax basis or doing your taxes, so let me know if you'd like to see other videos on other financial topics for content creators. So the first question is, did you make over $600 through content creation? If you did, amazing, great job. If you didn't, you necessarily don't have to report it on your income, but if you did allocate some expenses through content creation, I suggest that you should. However, if you were given a 1099 from a company that you worked with to then report, you would report your expenses there. But say you got a 1099 from this company, but then you work for this company but didn't get a tax form for them, but you still want to report your income, you definitely could in another category. Now let's talk expenses. Expenses equals potential tax write-offs. So I know we're not all bookkeepers and bookkeeping every expense that we do. However, what I've been doing in the past few years is looking through my bank statements and definitely looking through e-khen, because e-khen you could search up, for example, if you do makeup videos, you can search up Sephora and it'll list all of the times that you went to Sephora and how much it is. I would just add that up, especially if you do makeup content. Skincare, hair care, all those things, you can look it up and what stores that you went to, especially on Amazon as well. You can look through your orders on Amazon and see what you can write off from there. I'm just gonna speed run through the expenses that you could potentially write off for your taxes. We have makeup, skincare, hair care, filming equipment, office supplies, extra tech that you had to buy, clothes if you make fashion videos or just made a fashion video, mileage if you had to travel anywhere for work, travel if you're like a travel content creator, you can write some of that off. Giveaways you can actually write off as well. So if you've been hosting giveaways, great, you can write it off. Your Wi-Fi and phone bill, obviously, editing softwares, and then meals are deductible up to 50%. There's so many more expenses that you could potentially write off. These are the things that I just thought off the top of my head, but I can definitely go into detail if you request it. Let's talk about your office space or your filming space. So what they're gonna ask you is how much rent do you pay, your portion, especially if you're sharing with someone. Like say you don't pay the entire rent of the place, like you split it with like a significant other or somebody else. They're gonna ask you your portion of the rent and then the square footage of the space that you film in or use for office. Another thing I want to mention is because angel trees last month have been really popular, it's actually a tax write-off. Anything that you donate to charity, you can write it off, especially if you round up to the nearest dollar at the grocery store. Keep that receipt because you could write it off. Any donations of clothes, makeup, stuff like that to like Goodwill, Salvation Army, you can write off your donations. Your main goal here is decrease your taxable income as much as you can, and this is why I love 1099s or independent contractor work when it comes to taxes, because you have opened up a door to like the expenses and lowering how much you have to pay back, possibly increasing the money that you'll be receiving